Oh man, oh man, oh man. Guess what time it is?
I don't know what time is it.
It's time for another episode of the Wisemen podcast, powered by Yamo Media. While I share this out on all social media platforms, just so we can get some viewers in here. Jared, my friend, how are you doing?
Just got out of the insane asylum over the weekend. You know, I went to check myself into net care, and yeah,
Well, are you being serious or are you joking?
I'm joking.
I was about to say.
I mean, would you blame me if I said I actually did after the game?
Sorry, still trying to share this out.
Yes, Connor. We know it's 7:34. You do have kickoff. They say the game start at 7:30, but usually kickoff's about 7:40. So cut us some slack.
Oh wait, it automatically posted a tweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I am live on Twitter. That's right. Whoopsie. Um, yeah, no, that game was absolutely shit. I mean, we'll get into it here soon. But other than that, we can go well.
Yeah. It went pretty
Besides
good.
the
Spent
shit.
some time with my family. You
Nice.
know, Mom needed. I was out in the middle of nowhere, literally, in Hocking Hills area, down there in MacArthur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was sitting out on the deck. You know, yeah, we know he loves Publix. Um, but no, just sitting out on the deck. Enjoying a couple brews and some Buffalo Trace bourbon whiskey.
Hell yeah. Should I get
You
my
know,
mouse? But nah, never mind. I don't need it. Um, so just to get this thing started, I guess we should talk about the absolute shit show that was the Columbus Crew Charlotte FC match.
so as you know, you were there with me today at training.
Mm-hmm.
And after the conversation about, the whole, you know, the offside false start type thing, that Brianna and Chris had, I asked Chris, it was like, honestly, do you think that should have been a card, right?
For what?
For delay a game or time wasting, for Charlotte, right? Because you sit there deliberately doing once. I could see that, the first time, right? But you do it again, that right there to me shows that it's a deliberate action. It should have been a card in my book. Now, his explanation was uh it could have been it could have been up to the ref's discretion,
Mm-hmm.
but what I'm saying, other than that, it's not cardable, right?
Yeah, I think the ref goes in. I think the ref is in way over his head if he does that. Like it's just a false start. All you gotta do is just restart the kickoff. I think he's way in over his head if he
But I
decides to
mean
pull
that
a card out.
but I mean at a certain point though, what I'm saying, on after the second one, before he blew the whistle, he backwards jogged over to that side to stop him from doing it again, because he was doing it behind the ref's back, right? So had he, had the ref not moved there, and if it would have happened again, at what point do you draw the line as an official? You see what I'm saying?
But that before the clock even starts though,
It's still
yeah, that
it's
I don't
delay a
I
game
don't.
though.
It's 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 not, but I I kind of see where you're coming from, but at the very start of the game, I think he did the right thing by repositioning himself.
But that's what I'm saying. Had he not done that, right, and had this dude tried it again, at least a couple more times. At what point as an official? Because now you're testing me, right? Now you're testing my authority. You know, I've blown the whistle, but you're already damn near towards the 18-yard box, right? Before the ball's even touched to kick off the game. So at what point, though, as an official, do you draw the line?
Not that early in the game, I'll tell you that. Not that early in the game, though. I think at one point in time, you have to have a talk with them, like, hey, you know, you have to do this, you got to do this, you can't, you know, you have to wait until the ball is kicked, right? I think it's kind of iffy, but I think you're abusing power at that point if you decide to give a yellow card before the clock is even started. I already know who that is.
Is that Danny?
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, you know, you see where I'm coming from, though. It's a 50-50 coin flip of at where do you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
We saw it with Boyko last year in the NYC FC Columbus match. Given you know, the Pigeons keeper a yellow within the first 10 minutes of the match for, you know, time wasting. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, time wasting, delaying the restart. Yeah, I'd also think Boyko was in over his head. I need a Charlie Brown Cucho kit. I got you. We need to get Danny a Charlie Brown Cucho kit.
I need a Beckham Inter Miami. I don't want Messi. Yeah, and let me get one of the black and pink, not the pink and black.
That's until Perry hold his beer. But yeah, no, I do think Boyko was in over his head on that one too.
Which I mean, he was
relax, bro.
He was, but you know what I'm saying. He felt like the keeper, you know, was already trying. You know what I'm saying, trying to test him. So that's you know, I see both sides of the fence on that. It's a 50-50 coin flip. You know what I'm saying. And at that point, we all should have known that, you know, it was about to be fucking hell.
It was a fucking shit show. But to talk more about this, I mean, we can just talk about the entire game in the first half. I mean, there's nothing really going on in the second half except we conceded 2 goals.
I mean, yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, you might as well say, you know, second half was only just a quarter, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if you look at it from the two offsides, right? We should have known that this game was going to be a shit show. Everyone should have known. You got 46,000 fans there. You know, a mixture of Mecklenburg Massive, Nora on tour.
Did you say Mecklenburg?
Mecklenburg.
I thought you said Methenburg. Like, Jesus
Christ. No. No.
Methenburg.
Hey, when they're up here for crew, you know, for the crew tailgates and all that, they are some nice people. They just didn't bring those Southern Bojangles. Fuck this shit here.
Fair enough.
And that's coming from me. And you know how much I love Bojangles.
Mm-hmm.
But no, other than that, you got 40,000 plus fans. You know, they're doing the Polish.
The Poznan?
You know, yeah. You know, to Pepes. You know, so I mean, it was rocking. I'm not gonna lie. You know, had MLS put that tweet out saying that it was a party before the red card, you could say it's a party. But they posted that tweet about, you know, showing the crowd, you know, after the red card incident. And that's, you know, that's when everybody got up in arms, right? But I mean, it just was, I can honestly say that turf needs banned. If you take a look, what was it in the first 22 minutes? Columbus had to go to their bench twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because of injuries. We got two keys in the team, and Christian and Rudy get hurt with leg injuries. Rudy's not so much, as we as Coach Nazi said today and at the availability that Rudy should be back next week, which is going to be huge because we got DC United coming in. And we all know how Christian Benteke is, right? But to lose Christian, though, because we don't know how long he's going to be out. You know what I'm saying? So turf needs to go.
Talk about the game now itself. You mentioned it earlier. 22 minutes in, Columbus have to go to the bench. Camacho gets taken off due to injury. In comes Derek Jones. About 5 minutes later, I think it was, Christian Ramirez comes off with an injury. In comes Max Arfson.
Max put up one hell of a fight. We've seen more Max this year than we did last year. And he's shown his progression. It's the same thing like with Jason. We didn't see too much of Jason last year, but now that we're seeing a little more of him this year, look what he's done, right?
Yeah.
Max has shown that he belongs on this team.
Yeah.
He's shown and he's proven day in, day out in training. Whenever he gets, his numbers called to, go warm up and come in, he's ready.
Just 8 minutes after entering, and here comes the shit show. Derek Jones gets sent off with a red card.
Gotta love beauty cameras, right?
No, we're talking about the red card, not the offside goal. We're talking about the red card. Don't get ahead of yourself now, Jared. We have to take things one step at a time. This is the red card. This is the red card, not the goal.
I mean, seeing the monitor for the red card though, it was zoomed out.
Oh, was it?
From what I saw, it looked like the video still was zoomed out. It could have been, I could have been looking at it differently, but oh my God.
They had the same angle that everybody else saw. Do you think it was a red card?
At most a yellow. At most a yellow because he was making a soccer move. Right? He was going for the ball and it just missed the ball, right? If you take a look at when the Galaxy played Chicago played Columbus last year, I believe it was in Columbus, Shaqiri did the same thing. And he only picked up a yellow, but it was his second yellow, right? So, of course, he got the red card and was out. But it was the same thing as what happened with Derek Jones.
I would say that's the same thing that happened with Darlington Nagbe.
Because
Camacho because Camacho played the ball and Shaqiri stepped on him. The same thing happened with Nagbe. Nagbe played the ball and Arfield played with him. And Arfield stepped on him.
On Saturday?
I think those instances are more similar than the one Derek Jones had. But I think continue restrain.
So I mean, if you take a look at football moves like that, it should be a yellow. Not like Shaqiri, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I was shaking my head to Connor's comment.
It should have been a yellow, right? In my opinion, it should have been a yellow. But this was, this ref was in too deep. He was too he was drowning.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will say, I kind crew fans are gonna hate me for this. I agree with the red, but here's why, right? In my opinion, I think he takes a little bit of a heavy touch and the ball gets away from him. I see it now as a 50-50. And the angle that I saw, it looks like Diani gets a touch on the ball. But it's it's a split hair.
I gotta go back and take a look at it. But when you got the commentators, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's another thing also. Derek goes over the ball. If he goes with the height of the ball, that's I agree. But he goes over the ball. Now, on the flip side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can see where the red is harsh because he's making as Nancy put it, a football play, a soccer play.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as when you commit, you have full control over what happens, right? And once you commit, if you see Diani's leg coming in, you have full control to pull out of the challenge instead of just going right in.
I mean,
that's just me playing devil's advocate.
I mean, I get your point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like Chris was saying, though, right? In order for that to be blown dead, right? VAR has to look at it before the play resumes. The play kept going. We've all seen it though. Right? We've all seen it that if it's a red card situation, play is halted. Am I correct?
If initiated by VAR in the middle of play, I think.
We've seen
say
where
say what you said again to make sure I heard you correctly.
So if it's a red card type of offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the play stopped right there.
Yeah, to where
that way VAR has a chance to look at it to see if the red card is going to either be overturned or if it's going to be a yellow or no penalty at all. This one, the referee allowed play to continue until.
Are we talking about Derek Jones?
Yeah.
Nah, play didn't continue. You know why I thought the exact same thing, honestly, because I was away from my TV at the time. I thought the exact same thing. I thought play continued, but once I rewound it back, he did halt play for Deanna to get treatment.
Okay, so then VAR checked it, and then
VAR checked it during that.
So then the Nagby one, the Nagby, which should have been a red, because you come in studs up. Let that would have been a pro ref, right?
Mm-hmm.
A pro ref sees studs up coming in like that. You don't think they're not gonna pull that red card out quick?
I think. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, for sure. That's definitely a red. That's definitely a red with pro. That's definitely
studs red. Up, yes.
That's definitely a red. To the point of the comment that's posted. So let's look at it this way, right? Let's look at it like this. Okay. Bro, I thought you fell out your chair. Holy shit.
No, I see there's a comment. But...
Yeah, I see. So let's think of it this way, right? So, Jerald, me and you are going after a ball 50-50, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I know that you're going to get there first, in my head, right, I'm going to try and make an attempt on the ball, but I'm going to kind of adjust myself to where I'm not endangering the safety of the opponent.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that real quick.
You saw what?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that, right?
Hang on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Which is the reason why Jones got the red. It's endangering the safety of the opponent because it studs into the ankle, right? Now, on the other hand, if it's as close as it is, it's at the discretion of the official, in my opinion, right? Now, on the instance of Darlington Nagbe, okay, wholeheartedly, that should have been a red, because now, if you're going off of the what's it called? If the if you're going off the criteria of Derek Jones getting a red card, then you have to apply it to Nagbe and Arfield getting a red. The consistency is where the official lacked. He wasn't consistent enough, right? Consistency is key. If it's a red here in the 27th minute, it's a red here
in the 60th minute of first half.
Wherever it was. I don't know. I can't even remember what minute it was. It's a red here. You can't have a red here and nothing here. Now, another question is, why didn't VAR intervene? And I got a question. I had somebody message me on Twitter about this. Brother, I didn't say he was consistent. I never said he was consistent. I said he wasn't consistent. I said he wasn't consistent. I had a question posed to me, and I just saw it today. I know today. This is from Christian Kiesel. Apologies if you're watching this and I mispronounced your last name. He sent me the video of the Nagbe challenge. I think it was. Yeah. I know it's a day late, but is there any way to know why there wasn't a red card given for the studs to Nagbe's leg? I'm going off of the logic that if the red to Jones was warranted, why not keep it consistent? Correct. I replied, Chris, just not saying this, so I apologize for late response. When I initiated the pool reporter process to be done in Charlotte, that was the number one question on my list. However, I decided to not ask due to the fact that there was no foul called and no VAR check initiated. Therefore, I would have gotten a simple answer as there was no foul and the video assistant referee did not initiate a check. Now, I'm not saying that VAR did not take a look at it, because they might have and just didn't have enough evidence to send Calderon to the monitor, but that's an answer that I was trying to avoid, because that would have been the bullshit answer that we would have gotten, is because there was no foul, VAR didn't initiate a check, therefore we didn't have a foul on the field. But again, if it's a red on Derek Jones, keep it consistent, and it's a red over here.
Yep.
Again, Connor, I did not say he was consistent. I'm saying you have to keep it consistent. You have to keep. It's the same thing I say all the time. If it's a red card in the first minute, it's a red card in the 90th minute. If it's a yellow here, it's a yellow here. He did not keep it consistent at all. And I think that was the one thing that frustrated me watching this game.
All right. So now time for devil's advocate.
Okay.
On Derek Jones.
I'm going to turn this into a short, by the way.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Okay.
I'm just going to pull this up real quick. Oh, let's see here.
Um,
They're about 3 inches. Credit card length.
Not even. I got mine right here.
They're about 3 inches. Oh,
It's
okay.
not 3 inches.
All right.
And here's my red.
Derek Jones, 6'4".
Okay.
Probably about a buck 60, maybe buck 80. Doesn't give me his yeah.
I don't think Derek Jones is a buck 80.
I'm just
He's
saying
tall. He has muscle. I probably got like 2 something, a little over 2.
Wikipedia
Of pure
doesn't
muscle,
give,
that is.
Wikipedia doesn't give him, his weight. Oh,
Okay.
he's 176 pounds.
Really? Wow.
Yes. 176 pounds, 6'4". And what was the guy from Charlotte?
Jabril Diani.
All right.
Wow, yeah, 176 according to Columbus Crew's website.
Jabril Diani is
What did they
6
say
foot
about
5.
me getting yelled? I heard
Right.
it was funny. I have no idea what Chris said, honestly.
I don't think we asked him. But Diani is 6'5". Derek Jones is 6'4".
Okay.
You got 2 tall people, 2 lanky, assholes, right?
By the way, Derek Jones is not an asshole. He's just saying he's just talking.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Derek Jones is actually a humble guy. So let me rephrase that. You got 2 players, right? Both tall, lanky. Both right around the same weight, right?
Okay.
It's hard as an athlete to, yes, you can have that in your mind and you're seeing, like you said, if you see me going for it, you're going to have in your mind to change your position, right?
I want to win the ball, but then again, I know that the risk that I'm going to take, it's a risk reward type thing.
Yeah, you have that in your mind, right?
Yeah.
But it's a life or death thing, like cops. You have a life or death thing, fight or flight, right? You don't have 1 second, honestly. In a game, you've already been, 8 minutes in, and you're trying to get up to speed to catch up to everybody's game pace, right? You don't have that second to do that. It's either I'm all in or I'm going to try to slow up and I'm going to plant my feet. But we all know how turf is if you plant your feet. Especially with a 6'4" and a 6'5", players battling for the ball. If I know I'm coming in with my, if I'm coming in to get the ball, to win the ball from you.
By the way, I'm going to make us smaller because this big full screen stuff is really weird. There we go. I'll fix our little nameplates. Go ahead.
I'm going to try, like if I'm coming in, if I see that you're getting there before me, I am going to try to slow up, but at the same time, momentum and gravity. It's the law of inertia, right? Every object in motion has an opposite equal reaction.
So if I'm high school shit, I don't even remember that learning that in school.
So so you already got 2 players coming this way. Until they meet, it's hard to stop those objects going in the same way. So there honestly was no way for Derek Jones to pull up as he was going for that ball, because it was going to be oh,
like Steven Spielberg. What's that supposed to mean?
Directed shit. What's happening, Shawshank? That's your one acknowledgement.
That's
and your Bray Wyatt, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. You let me in for the Fiend. Which those memes were perfect for today. But no, you got two objects in motion.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stopping it till there's a collision. And we got the teacher on here, trying to correct me. So, I mean, there's no way Derek Jones could have stopped. The only way he could have stopped is if on that first touch, with it being a heavy touch, he didn't go after it. Once he committed, and sticking his lanky ass leg out there like that, there's no way for him to stop until his foot either touched the ball or it went through Dahani's leg. And unfortunately, it went into his ankle.
Yeah.
But the thing with Nagbe's,
I was about to say, I was going to segue into Nagbe now.
I think the reason, had Nagbe stayed down longer, right? Had Nagbe stayed down longer, I think the ref, he would have blown the whistle because Nagbe would have been down, and it would have gave VAR a chance to look at it.
See, I think this one's on VAR itself.
It is VAR's fault, right? Because the VAR was not at the stadium.
Yeah, I think it's in Atlanta.
It was in Dallas.
No. Yeah, they moved it to Dallas. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's either Dallas or Houston is where the VAR center is, which
it was Atlanta last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, down there at the headquarters.
It was in Atlanta last year. Now it's in Dallas. Yeah,
because Garber's the one that's pretty much sitting there watching everything, happen last year. But no, I think VAR needs to be at the stadiums,
like it used to be.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I'm a cross-reference another sport, NHL, right? Yes, they have a center up in Toronto that's what, with all the monitors of all the games going on. And if, if there is a challenge that they feel on a goal or a penalty needs to be reviewed by the official, they hit that little buzzer, whatever, they come over to the side, whatever. But there's an independent video room for challenges that works hand in hand with the video review for up in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have it down there in Houston or Dallas, wherever the hell it is down in, the Lone Star State. But you need to have it also at the stadiums, because if you have it at the stadiums, I think that takes away from the power from the VAR center, and that way it gives it solely in the hands right there in the game, to where if the center thinks that the in-stadium VAR made the wrong call, they can buzz into them and say, hey, that's not what we're seeing here according to the, code 1.26.34.UC whatever the hell.
8675309.
Yeah. 380. So I mean, that they could come back and overrule the in stadium one. You know what I'm saying? And say, no, this is the reason why it needs to be this. But I think in stadium VAR is where the consistency will come into play because you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
You have better camera angles right there. You know what I'm saying? You can see with your two eyes while the game is going on right there. You're seeing it in person versus a 2-minute, lag for a stream.
To go back to a point really quick, and to answer Mr. Carr's comment. Connor, yes, we are getting pro back. We'll touch on it here in a second. But according to Pablo Maurer of The Athletic, the new rule changes will not take effect yet this week. That's just what I heard. I can try and confirm and get a better answer. But as far as I know, the new rules will not be taking place just yet this week. Now onto the flip side of things, and this is where Ashley Howard's comment comes into play. So again, I initiated the pool reporter process in Charlotte. I think it was right after the negated offside goal. Needless to say, this was not at all a very concise angle to have used for the goal. Now, and I agree with my buddy here who is an official. The only argument that can be made for using that angle is the different shades of color on the turf. Right? Now, on the flip side of things, you have to do the same thing with another angle. You really need another angle because you can't really determine offside from a beauty camera, right? And I posted it. And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, when I got the response back from the referee, so this was the referee's response. Columbus Crew number 27 was in an offside position when the ball was played forward by Columbus goalkeeper number 24. A combination of beauty camera and right yard 18-yard camera confirmed his offside position. I wholeheartedly disagree. Okay, because if we're going by what we see when he goes to the monitor, and we're seeing on the broadcast what he's seeing on the monitor, there was no other angle being used. And if I'm the referee here and you're giving me offside from that angle, and you're telling me that you have another angle that is confirming his offside position, I want to see that, because I want to make sure that we are getting this right. I do not want to sit here and look at a beauty camera up at the top of the stadium from the south end of the field and determine whether or not he's offside. That camera doesn't zoom in. That camera is only used for PSAs, graphics, and establishing shots. Okay, I'm not using that angle. I never saw a right yard, 18-yard camera being used. And if you're telling me that the referee was looking at the video board on that angle, right? When we see the beauty camera and you see the video board, that's not a right 18-yard camera. That's the game broadcast camera. That's at midfield. You're telling me you're going to use that? That's also false.
Solution.
So,
I have a solution.
No, I don't know where he's from. Kind of don't want to get into finding out where he's from.
So I have a solution. And it's something that
the James Webb angle.
It's something that I like, and the NFL deploys it. And that's the pylon cams. It's the pylon cams to where they are zoomed in, right? The camera, the lens is automatically zoomed into, a certain spot. And they use them for replays. Especially, did he get in the end zone? Was that things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think you could evenly space them out on a soccer field. 18-yard, corner, what I'm saying, midfield, and go that route, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where it gives you a field level, right? It gives you that field level angle for video reviews. And they can also be wide lenses to catch, 180 degrees and be clear still to catch everything within 180 degree, range, right?
Okay.
Another solution college football and NFL uses overhead cameras that go with the, as everything's going, right?
Okay.
Yes, soccer is a fast game. So we would see that camera be zip lining across unless you had the 360, wide lens to where you could have it stationary at midfield, but you could it's still clear, clear capacity to where if there's a foul, on this side, you can zoom in on it, but you're overhead. So you see everything looking down, right? So I mean, I think that's something you could do as a solution. But honestly, the pylon cams would be the better solution out of everything.
I see flaws in both of those.
I mean, I see the flaws of people, with the balls and sliding tackles and things like that.
It's not even that.
What's your flaws?
So you think about, for example, take a runner aiming for first down, right? They have a camera at the first down marker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Running back runs towards the camera and dives. He covers the entire field, right? You take Max Arston running in front of that camera. His leg or foot or whatever covers the entire other side of the pitch, so where you can't see where a defender is.
So that's what you have it on both sides.
Then you have the risk of the defender covering that camera from a distance, and Max, because Max was so far near the touchline, can't see Max Sarpston.
I mean, it goes either way. I mean, it's there are more crows. There are more pros than there are cons, honestly. But it's one of those to where, yes, the camera could be, you can zoom that camera in, right, on a video clip.
MLS doesn't. I don't think MLS has that technology. Not you. I'm looking at the comment.
But you have it to where you can zoom in at any time to actually see, right? So if it's at its natural position, right, camera lens.
Hold
right?
that thought. I also do like looking at people's noses when I play FC, just because it's fun.
So you have
so I have 11 cameras.
I mean, with how everything is nowadays, you have to, right? You want to keep the integrity of the game. You want to hold the officials, accountable and keep them consistent. You have to have the camera angles and not rely on broadcasting cameras at field level. If you have these pylon cams that are just like, I don't know, maybe 12 inches tall, if that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But with the camera lens, it's in its natural position, right? So it sees everything, whatever the case may be. So when you're going by it, you're not really covering the lens up because it's already zoomed in, right? And you can zoom. It's already zoomed out, so it gives it that longer, you know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be right at the field, right? So it would be back, to where it sees everything. And then if you have to go to a review, you can zoom in and the clarity still would be clear, right? But when you're going by it, you're not covering the lens up. If that makes sense.
It does. I don't think that would be the ideal solution, however. Just like I don't think the overhead cam would be ideal. You know what would be ideal is implementing lines on VAR, like the EPL does, like La Liga does.
Oh, the digital?
Yeah, the digital lines. That might be beneficial, right?
I mean, it's almost like a pylon cam, but it's all digital.
But they're already using the cameras that's already installed, though. Because you have to think they have all the VAR cameras set up in spots to where a lot of incidents happen, right? They have the left 18, the right 18 on both sides, the high end zone from both sides. They don't have a beauty cam, I'll tell you that much right now. And then they have there's another I just can't remember, another game broadcast camera. I just can't remember what the other one is. I think implementing lines would be wholeheartedly, especially when you have tight ones, like Charlotte's negated goal, right? The one where dude whiffed and Derek tried to clear it and he whiffed, and they called it back. The only thing that I can see why they called it back was because that one guy was in an offside position. He was laying down on the ground and could have prevented Bush from playing the ball and whatnot, right? As goalie interference. I don't think I think that goal should have stood because you don't have he never showed another angle.
No, and like when he walked
Never
up to
showed another
the
angle
monitor, it was paused on that beauty camera angle.
on the beauty camera. Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you? And when you got commentators
Who were directed specifically by the league to not mention anything, but I think that was more so not to mention the lockout.
yeah, but commentators saying that the officiating was terrible. You had Andrew Wiebe, one that is employed by Apple, right? And despite, you could tell he was arguing against the replacement refs this whole month that they've been around. He was even saying about the Columbus Charlotte match, like, this is hideous. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was saying you can't explain it because there's no explanation for the bullshit ass calls. When you have commentators saying that should have been a yellow, not a red, and what happened about Nagby getting fouled and not being treated the same. You have commentators saying that on Apple. So I don't know.
The last thing is I'm trying to see if Inside Video Review is out yet.
Oh, well, the game was all played in the first half, so
yeah, I know, right? This was match day 6, right? Yeah, it was. It is not out yet. The last thing that happened in the first half, the yellow card PK to Charlotte and the yellow card to Yaoyeboa. Was it a yellow card?
I don't think so. And that's
Correct.
not being biased. That's just looking at Yao slowed up.
Kerwin Vargas is already playing the ball. He's already off balance.
Yeah. And Yao
He's
slowed
already
up
making a play on the ball.
and Yao was trying to turn his body, so he didn't make that contact. And with Vargas already being off balance, happened to fall, right into Yao, and you call it a yellow.
According
but the ball
to
don't lie, though.
According to our good friend Christopher Calderon, the match official, Yaoyeboa, number 14 of Columbus, committed a foul challenge into his opponent's back that prevented his opponent from playing the ball in a fair manner. Yaoyeboa, number 14, was cautioned for stopping a promising attack. That is the so the question was that I posed, how did the contact rise to the level of a penalty against Vargas? And that was the answer. My argument is Kerwin Vargas is already off balance. He's already looking at the ball, making an attempt to play the ball. He's already lunging to try and make a diving header. It's soft. It's so soft. Now, I honestly think that VAR should have stepped in again and said no penalty and take away the yellow card.
I'm a big conspiracy theorist.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At that point in time, before the match, the Columbus Crew took over first place for a few hours. We all know Inter Miami is Don Garber's new love child. He's already off at LAFC, so he's on Inter Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Inter Miami got blown the fuck out of the Red Bulls, who I think was pissed off because of how they were outplayed in Columbus the previous week. And they took it. Yeah, they took it out on a messy list Inter Miami, which we've seen Inter Miami be able to win without Messi, right?
Mm-hmm. DC United.
But that, they just did not. The Red Bulls were pissed off. I'm going to say that. 4-0 with a hat trick from
Lewis Morgan.
Lewis Morgan. Couldn't think of his name off the top of my head. But Columbus took over.
Mm-hmm.
Don Garber, I don't care what anybody says, wants Inter Miami to be the champion because of bringing Messi here, right? And putting MLS on a global stage. You want the best player in the world to win a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find every little which way to make sure that happens. And the fact that Columbus was already tied with Inter Miami, coming into, match day 6, and then, Inter Miami gets embarrassed up in Jersey. Columbus takes over, and we already know how much Don Garber doesn't like, Columbus as is.
Yeah.
And I think it was a directive. It was a direct but indirect, towards, officials for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Make it hard on Columbus. They tried. We fought till, the 85th minute, 82nd minute.
82nd minute.
82nd minute with down one man for an hour. Over an hour. They tried to break us. Even by conceding 2 goals, they did not break Columbus. And I think that honestly, that was the breaking point for the officials and the league. Like, you got players, you got coaches, you got front office, employees willing to risk being fined by the league for speaking out about how terrible the refs were. If this lockout wouldn't have happened, at what point do you, as a player, as a coach, as an organization, say enough is enough? We're not taking the field until this lockout is over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And had it not ended today or yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Had it not ended, that's the mindset you have to go into of at what point do you show the league you need us and we don't need you?
Yeah.
You want to keep, those, private jets, you want to keep this going? Listen to what these officials, because you're losing the integrity of the game. You heard what Nazi said today. We lost people for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how humble Nazi is, but you could see how disgusted he was, which everybody could see here later on once it's all uploaded here on our YouTube channel. You could see how disgusted he was because he was getting criticized from his peers overseas, people that he's looked up to in the world of soccer.
Which I highly recommend everybody, once, if Gerald can get it done, I highly recommend listening to Nancy's press event, media availability. If not, it's up on the Master Report page. You can listen to it there too.
That's the longest we've had a media availability with it. It's always been about 12, 15 minutes. Yeah. This one went 20 minutes. So,
Henry.
But he was disgusted, and you could tell he didn't want to say it. He said he was hurt because that's not football.
Mm-hmm.
and he was hurt that he was getting criticized and chastised by his peers because he promotes MLS. He talks highly of MLS. But when you got a performance by officials like we did in Charlotte, you're sitting there now with egg on your face.
Yeah.
I digress now.
It was a shit show for the ages. I think that was probably the worst officiated match, actually half of soccer, honestly. The second half wasn't that bad, but Thierry Henry, I don't know. It's so bad, that first half. And not to mention that we played the longest half of Major League Soccer in league history in 62 minutes. A minimum of 10 minutes was added. We played 17. So, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you about that.
I would have took Boyko over anything.
I think a lot of people would love that. I think Australia does it. I'm pretty sure the A-League does it.
Patience, Connor. We just got the real refs back.
Speaking of, yes, Pro did end their lockout. The PSRA did end the lockout, so we do have our normal officials that we all love back this coming weekend. I've yet to see the assignments. I don't think they're out yet. I think they might be. I think they might come out probably Friday or Saturday.
It might even come out tomorrow.
Probably. Hang on, I just had it too. Pro referees.
And I think everybody, when the officials come out for during warm-ups, I think everybody should give the officials a round of applause for coming back.
Honestly, I'm down for it. Honestly,
as soon as you see those pro ref jackets or jerseys, as soon as you see them touch a pitch, everybody should just start cheering.
Yeah.
If there's nobody else out there warming up and they come out, everybody should just start cheering.
Yeah.
Because it's been 1 month of hell.
Yep. Yeah, I knew it was the A-League. But now we move to the lower team, Columbus Crew 2. Your favorite.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have enough reception to watch it.
Fair enough.
I was spending time with my family, so sue me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it was going back and forth. Like I could tell you. Oh, I just had it. Where'd it go? I just had the email pulled up. So for Crew 2, you had
Mr. Carr says you did not miss much.
Chase Adams scored. Brent Adu Giamfi scored. Cole Maroka scored. So that was, they tied it. It was 3-3 at the end of regulation. Went to PKs, where Crew 2 did lose 4-3. Jaden Dodd. No, but I mean it was a back and forth.
Yeah,
and I think Columbus, or for Crew 2, has found their Rochester Rhinos and Crown Legacy, because it just seems like Crown Legacy is like a kryptonite for Crew 2.
Yeah.
But they made Crown Legacy made the mistake last year in the Next Pro playoffs in the second round by picking Columbus, and got knocked out, and they were in the number 1 seed. So you know, it's
Connor says he was at that game.
how was the atmosphere, Connor? It just it just something about, and Brett Adu Gianfi is the one that scored the game winner last year in the postseason for Crew 2 down there at Crown Legacy, and they won 1-0. So, or it might
I
have been
thought he
tied.
just signed this year.
He signed a contract. He was with the academy, and he was brought up under an academy contract with Crew 2, but he didn't really play too many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He signed his next pro contract this year. So, it's just something about Charlotte and Crown Legacy that Columbus can't seem to get over the hump down there in Charlotte.
Connor says it was sold out. The fans brought the noise. Things you love to see.
And
my ribs.
Speaking of a former Cappy down there in Charleston.
Oh, fuck.
New Mexico United did take on the
what the fuck?
Charleston Battery. And it didn't.
Bro, look at the. Bro, my eyes, bro.
Oh, Lord.
Look at that. That's what I get for that's what I get for waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you got bags under your eyes.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah, New Mexico United didn't pull out the win over Charleston Battery, which I do believe New Mexico United is at home against Phoenix Rising this weekend. So, and that's a big rivalry there. So, wish Marco the best and the whole New Mexico United team. Even though it's not Columbus Crew, he's still a Cappy legend.
For those who want to get out and support local soccer, Inter Columbus, the UPSL team. If you guys remember, we had Chase Vance on a couple weeks ago. They just released. Well, I don't know if they've released it yet, but I have their schedule.
Where are they playing the games?
It looks like a lot of the games are going to be at Grove City Christian.
Okay.
If I can pull it up, here we go. So I have both the UPSL and NOSL schedules. They play Greater Columbus FC on April 7th. That's UPSL match week 1. Then they're away to the Kokomo Vipers FC on April 14th.
In Indiana.
They are,
Indiana.
Is that where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. They have a home match April 21st against Lions.
Dayton.
They're away to
What's that, Dayton or?
Nah, Lions. No, that's they're Columbus.
Okay.
You're thinking of Dayton Dutch Lions. I know exactly what you're thinking of.
Yep.
Those guys, fuck Dayton Dutch Lions. They killed Eddie Gavin. Not really, but they injured Eddie Gavin in an Open Cup a long time ago. That was shit.
Yeah.
Then they play Foot Ohio away in Marion. They are home to Columbus Ashtray May 5th. And I'm pretty sure that they'll post something with all the schedule so we can share it or whatnot. I'm just going through it right now. They are away to FC Cincinnati Academy May 11th.
I hope they murder him.
Match week 6. I actually thought about going to that game and doing commentary for that game. I don't know. And now we start with the next day, May 12th, their NOSL. And for those who don't know, NOSL is the Northern Ohio Soccer League. Match week 1, they play Mansfield Lightercrans. That's away. NOSL match week 2, they play Stark County United. That's away. The next day, the 19th, UPSL match week 7, they play the Indy Gladiators.
Yeah.
Then they have May 21st, NOSL Stimulus Cup round 1 match against Sisyphus Balveren. It's German Family Society of Akron, so they're in Akron. NOSL match week 3, May 25th, they play Ohio City SC. NOSL match week 4, they play Delaware Rising. NOSL Stimulus Cup game 2 is set for June 4th or 5th. That's to be determined. NOSL match week 5, they play home to Ambassadors FC Ohio.
Okay.
Excuse me, June 8th or June 9th, one of the two. They play away to Wolves. That's UPSL match week 8. NOSL match week 6, Mahoning Trumbull, June 15th. UPSL match week 9, June 16th. Kokomo Vipers, that's home also. Stimulus Cup game 3 to be determined. NOSL away game, June 22nd or 23rd, Poly United. UPSL match week 10, away, Greater Columbus FC. NOSL match week 8, they play Greater Columbus FC at home on June 29th. And then UPSL, the Ohio Indy Division semifinal, first versus fourth, second versus third, to be determined June 29th through 30th. And then NOSL match week 9, they play Ashland United, to be determined. It's a away game.
Not a bad schedule.
Nah, as I said, I'm sure that they will post something to where it has all the games and whatnot. We'll share it out and everything like that. Connor says, going to try and make it to a North Carolina FC game when they play Rhode Island at home. Cary is a 2-hour drive from me, and my good friend who obviously has no taste because he likes Skyline chili, Kenta. How y'all doing tonight? No.
I applied for credentials.
I think I'm like super stretched thin that week, actually. Now that UPSL is starting and I'm doing commentary for the UPSL team here, I'm stretched thin, and I'm also I'm going to Vegas that week for a convention. So I'm stretched thin. It's crazy. Kenta, how are you, man? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, I applied for credentials.
The good thing is, I was going to, but I'm like, I got a lot to do. The good thing is also is that all these Inter Columbus games that are home, the NOSL games start at 2:00. UPSL games start at 3:00. They're well before the Crew game when they play. They're well before Columbus Crew games. So you guys should. The free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99, man. Free 99.
You can't beat free soccer, so you're not coming out your pocket anymore. You know, for a ticket. It's not like going to the LDC, but you're already getting your soccer juices going. You're seeing local soccer free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right up 71, which turns into I gotta check my email now. Bastards. Which turn straight up 71 turns into 315 right there. Get off on Spring, or you don't even have to get to 315. It turns. There's an exit right there for Long Street. You get off right there, and you're right at the LDC.
Doing well. I got my approval email like Sunday. So are you coming up to Columbus to cover She Believes? I might get a ticket. I don't know. Another team that you guys can watch for the free Dominican University. For those who don't know, I am their social media guy. It's another black and gold team. Hey. Watch it, pal.
Just look at that goal video.
I'm surprised I didn't get kicked out that match. But the one match I didn't even do anything, and the people next to me are cheering, I get kicked out. But the one game that I do cheer, I don't get kicked out. It's like 12 seconds left in the game anyway. Dominican has had 2 spring games so far this spring season. The first one, what was the score? Was it a 2 or 3-1 win over Capital University? Nice. And then I got mine early because I'm covering both matches. Oh, you're going to Atlanta. Oh, shit. Okay. Look at Kenta making moves.
So you haven't got you've got, okay.
I think he has his approval credential, but his photographer hasn't. That's what it looks like, at least.
All right. So, I mean, it did just actually close today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the applications for it. So,
yeah. My biggest one is I want to cover Copa America.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. But Dominican, don't understand the hate for Skyline. I mean, the South High Street location.
Oh, Lord.
There's a Skyline at South High Street?
Yeah, down there by the Walmart.
Oh. Well, Connor obviously has no taste in food either.
Yes,
I am coming for you because you talk about me playing Apex, which is up on my TV right now.
I'll put this for you, Connor. Columbus Crew fans do not like Skyline because it represents Cincinnati.
Yeah, Kenta.
Hey, I'm a Bengals fan, so you know, they got rid of, you know, I still think Gold Star is better than Skyline, but the Russ's Pizza is the best thing besides the Cincinnati Bengals that came out of Cincinnati. So,
Kenta, I don't know what that says. All I see is Skyline, and then / a bunch of characters.
Probably meant the 3-way.
I don't know. And then yesterday, we had a game against Cedarville. We lost. It was like 4 or 5-1. Sucks. We also lost one of our players, one of our key wingers. Looks like it's a broken fibula.
Is it the same guy from last year?
Different.
Jesus.
Different. So Veron, if you ever see this, man, hope you're doing well. Speedy recovery, and whatnot. We need you for the fall. But yeah.
How'd the team look though? Is it something promising this year?
It is actually. They've moved some pieces around. Our normal right back is now playing a 6, and he's great at it. I think we moved to a 3-back. So that's the ball retention's great.
Has he
with his team right now?
Coach Nazi?
You know what? I had a feeling that if I was going to bring this up, you were going to say something about that. I had a feeling that was going to happen. But no, it looks good. I think what we need now is
goalkeeper.
Okay, Connor, you're about to get put in timeout. Don't dog my team like that, bro.
He gets emotional over the Panthers.
Hey, especially because I went to school there. So, but no, the ball retention is good. I think the one thing that just needs to happen is, you know, they need to play. They need to not, you know, kind of hide and whatnot. These boys are gritty, obviously, because yeah. But No, these
stay
these
on
boys are
task.
good. Yeah, these boys are good, and I think a strong spring season will make for a very promising fall season, especially because we don't have a lot of newbies coming in, so all of our team is experienced already. So hopefully that'll transcend to a good fall season. And we were already talking as like after the game yesterday, players and everybody, we were all talking about seeing each other in the GMAC final. So and manifestation is real. We need to manifest us making it back to the conference tournament. Um okay, bet. Um Now looking ahead back to the Columbus Crew, they are taking on the Nashville boys, which are blue and gold, by the way, not black and gold. So for all people saying that, oh, they took our colors, no, they're blue and gold, not black and gold.
Like, hold up, we had these colors first.
But we're black, they're blue.
I know. I'm just saying that's the argument.
Oh
First
yeah,
off,
for sure. Yeah.
bitches, y'all weren't around in '96.
But no, so Nashville, a very inconsistent start to the season so far, gets
Blown
shot on
out.
by 5 to LAFC over the last weekend.
If we thought that was bad for LAFC, especially with who they just picked up, Jesus.
What can we look forward to? I mean, obviously we have Camacho and Ramirez out,
So I
right?
mean, yeah, Camacho's going to be out. Ramirez is going to be out. Good thing is all our players are back from international.
Was Schulte
Uh,
out there?
yes,
Okay.
So Aiden and Schulte were both out there, but they weren't with the groups at first. Maybe later on in training they did. Um, they maybe might have
Nah,
joined joined
nah.
all
I think you're
together.
tripping, Connor.
I think they might have joined everything later on in the training session, but for the first 15 that I was able to see, Schulte and Aiden were off to the side closest to the complex doing some drills. Jason was in line.
I think the only person that I see that wasn't there was Taha.
Taha had a game
With the U19s, right?
Yeah, he had a game on Tuesday.
So he's still on international duty.
He's on his way back. So he should be back tomorrow or Friday at the latest. So we don't know if we'll see him yet.
I don't think so.
I think maybe deeper into CONCACAF we might. Maybe some of these games as well. But Jason was back. There was a Matan sighting. He was there for warm-ups, and then they took him off the side down to one of the pitches, to do some training.
Probably work on that quad or that thigh.
Yeah. I mean, he went, I see everything around me when we're there. I saw him come in, and he was going up the steps. It didn't look like there was like any hesitation going up the steps. And we all know I could spot out hesitation because of my damn knees. So there wasn't no hesitation. Aiden, when I saw him, he did look a little tired. Not saying that he was tired, but it just looked like, just getting off playing a day, day before. And, coming here to training.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think he actually did get in Monday or early Tuesday, is what what I was told. But he was there. Schulte was there. So we have all them back now, focusing on Nashville. Nashville likes to run with the four back, as I believe you pointed out today. So don't know who's all going to be available for Nashville. The injury report wasn't out with the game notes. So
I'm looking at the Design Spectre on Twitter has been responding to the thing, and it hasn't been popping up, which is weird. So he says all the crew 2 had a good match. That shootout was good too. It was a good showing. Says no, we can't get over the hump in Charlotte because for crew 1 it's bullshit turf, and for crew 2, well, it's something that crew 1 has to show them, not tell them. Thank you. Said loves the stream. He said I saw Matan sightings, but I still want to know about Christian and Camacho. So according to Nazi, Rudy Camacho could be back as early as next week. There's still no timeline on Christian Ramirez, so we are definitely out those two. I would probably go on record to say that Matan is questionable. Maybe, I don't know.
We have to see.
Yeah,
we didn't ask Nazi about him today. Just the two elephants in the room with
Camacho and Ramirez. Connor says, "Wanted to ask you guys, since there was a big rumor a few weeks ago, what is it like of Schulte being sold in the summer? Is there any truth or to all the rumors?" I have not been poking that bear. Mainly because one, I have personal stuff going on. Two, I don't think that rumor is reliable. I haven't heard anything. I also haven't asked. So as far as that goes, I don't see Schulte leaving in the summer. But then again, I was told Lucas wasn't going anywhere, and he's gone the day of Club America last year. So I don't know. I'm scared to ask people anymore.
Well, at the time when you were told that, there wasn't the backup wasn't in place yet. And you agreed, and a lot of people that I talk to agrees. Bez is not going to let a player go of anybody's caliber without having somebody equal or better before that player that's leaving signs that deal.
Correct.
So probably when you were told Lucas wasn't leaving, that whole thing where Rossi was not set yet. So then it probably got set, the day of the Club America match, right? Everything got, both parties, Rossi agreed, Bez agreed with, Saudi Arabia. And at that time, that's when it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if there's going to be anybody leaving, Bez is not going to allow that player to leave without having somebody equal or better. And right now, who's a better keeper?
Yeah, that's funny. So Design Spectre put a tweet out at Apple TV. As much as I talk smack, oh, thank you for finally doing this. And on Apple TV, it has the thumbnail for Nashville Columbus. It says Mukhtar meets the champs. And then he tagged us in it. That's awesome. I like that.
I mean, if Schulte leaves, we're gonna have another keeper, Connor.
Yeah.
There's no way right now we're throwing in Hagen. Yes, Schulte got thrown in at the beginning part of the season, last year. One, because Room was still over in the Netherlands, battling with his green card. So we had to play Schulte, right? And I don't think if Schulte leaves in the summertime, I think we see Evan Bush the rest of the year. Or Bez brings in another keeper for the rest of the year as a rental until Nico Hagen gets acclimated completely with the system.
Connor says, "Do we rotate versus Tigres midweek, or do we keep the usual starting 11?" I think for this one, I think this one you rotate Nashville, and then normal 11 for Tigres, because you obviously want your strongest 11 out against Tigres. I think you shift a little bit, or limit the minutes on people for Nashville.
I think we could see Cole Maroka.
Possibly.
Who's a good up and coming midfielder that can also play the wing a little and forward.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
you rotate in Nashville because I mean you look Tuesday we're playing Tigres. we're playing Tigres.
Connor then says, I skipped over this one on accident. Talked to a few UK friends of mine, and they said the Telegraph is about as reliable as the Sun, so take anything from the Telegraph with a grain of salt. Well, then if you're saying that, then obviously the Telegraph is just blowing smoke.
Yeah.
So Jerald is saying Schulte leaves, we'll bring another keeper ahead of Hagen. I think... Yeah. I think you run Evan Bush until Hagen gets acclimated
to the playoffs.
Probably go after All-Star break. All-Star
Fair
break.
Enough.
Finish out the season with Hagen. If Schulte leaves, Hagen after All-Star break, up until playoffs, all through our second MLS Cup in a row.
Yeah.
So. Shawshank, you hush your mouth about talking about Sir Patrick leaving. Hey, I want to see Stas get some first team minutes this summer.
Stas is not ready. He's not ready.
No.
He still needs to work on his footwork a little bit. Real quick before they get that, Stas needs to work on his feet a little more. There's no doubting there is talent there with Stas, with Lapkus, right?
Mm-hmm.
No question there's talent there. He just needs to work on his timing and his footwork. And I think playing with Crew 2, he will get that, especially, I wish Laurent was still here, but Kelvin Jones is still a remarkable, developer as a coach. So, yeah.
Kenta, slightly older news, but if MLS opens up U22 slots in the summer, what position does Columbus target? I think we target center back.
I think both.
Center back or center mid?
Or wing.
That's if Farshi leaves or Yeboah leaves?
I mean, we got Sean and Arfstead behind them, right? But you still need more.
I think. Go ahead.
I mean, somebody that you can. I think if you build a little group of utility players, like Sean, we know Josh Williams. You're not Josh, but Will Sands.
That guy's retired.
Hey, I see the number 3. Okay. Speaking of which, I actually play as Josh Williams on EAFC in the career mode. Yeah. And Jason looks like Afro Thunder from Ready to Rumble. How they have his hair. It literally it's an afro like this, and he has the little goatee. Like, come on now, how you do him dirty like that? But anyways, Will Sands, we know um, he could be Sean because he's shown flashes that that's what he is, right? So, man. But to get back to that, I think you do go. I do completely agree with you. You go with backline players.
Yeah. Connor says, would you play Hager and Bush on the League Cup knockouts with Shorty possibly either going to Paris or Copa America? I don't see Shawzy going to Copa America. I see probably going to Paris if they make it.
I see Paris, but not Copa. That's Matt Turner and
that's Matt Turner, Drake Callender, Ethan Horvath,
Dane St. Clair.
Dane St. Clair is Canadian.
Well, yeah, fuck shit. Leave me alone.
I see him going to Paris, but not Copa America. That's just me, though. Yeah, we have to hit the back line hard. Yes, Camacho's getting up there in age. Morera, we have him through 2025. Amundsen, I feel like Amundsen could be to Europe within a year. I think Amundsen goes to Europe within a year. If we're looking at center back, Screws from Hull City might be a center back too to look at. Might be center back to look at. He's 24 in his prime, decent center back, starts every game for Hull. We're Man United supporters. We only watch the Prem. No, I'm joking. I'm just talking shit.
I don't watch anything other than Wrexham.
Yeah, they're good. Can we talk about how good Shea's been this season when he's played? Kind of want to get through. I mean, yeah, he's been good when he's played. He's actually been pretty fucking solid. He's been solid.
Yeah, man. I told you about him, so don't start jumping on the bandwagon now. Bastards.
But to get back on to Nashville this week. Inconsistent start to the season. They just got thrashed 5-0 LAFC. Obviously they're home. They're going to be without Joe Willis on Saturday. As he's out with a red card suspension that he got in the LA match. Columbus obviously going to be without Camacho and Ramirez. Matan is questionable, and Derek Jones. Yep, and Derek Jones. And Taha, but Matan likely questionable, pending injury. So what is it that Columbus will need to do besides play their game? What is it Columbus will have to do to pull out 3 points? Now that we have Morris and Schulte and a pretty healthy starting 11.
Look at what they did last year against Nashville. Quick, off on the front foot for the first half, right?
Mm-hmm.
That connection of Amundsen and Yao Yeboah needs to come alive. Because how quick Yao can get around those defenders and get behind that back line. And we saw what happened, right? So if you compare Cucho and Diego just going ahead and run, and that connection goes from Amundsen to Yao, we could get off on the front foot right away.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the keys is get off onto the front foot right away and be aggressive.
I think also another thing is we're going to have Nazi back. He's going to be on the sideline again. Take advantage of the inconsistencies. Nashville has had so many injuries so far, right? They're without Joe Willis. Take advantage of the inconsistencies that you see. Control what you can control and just take advantage of Nashville in their own stadium.
But also at the same time, at the same time, I'm so glad Nazi wasn't there for Charlotte because we probably would have him gone for 2 games. But like you said though, Tyler, that play on what's playing in Nashville right now is those inconsistencies. You don't have Joe Willis. Schaffelberg is just now coming back. The team does have some injuries. Don't know who's out yet for Nashville. So just play, like you said, play on their inconsistencies. So while we're, talking about this, what are some of your guys's keys that you think, how Columbus should be able to handle Nashville this weekend? Tell us some of your thoughts on what some of the keys are. Let's see here. Amundsen is 28. I don't see him going to Europe when he's 29, 30. I mean, you never know. Depending on, he could go to a Danish league team. It's just all depends on what Amundsen wants to do. Let's see here. Amundsen hide that one. Oh no, yeah, show that one. When Schaffelberg plays, he has a whole different dynamic to. Yeah, but he's up there on the forward spot. So I mean, it's we saw how he played against Trinidad and Tobago. The goal that he scored to put Canada into the Copa. Let's see. Minimize the chances Hani gets and watch Schaffelberg when he's on the field, but shut those guys down. They don't have, which is true. I mean, if you shut down Hani first, everything starts to crumble a little bit. But I mean, they do still have some guys that can contribute. Let's see what else we got here. I know y'all got some more. Just taking a little break. Senor Tyler did have to go real quick. Do a check through. I think somebody was at his door, so yeah. Let's see here what's going on. What are the people out on Twitter saying?
Sorry, I went to go check on my grandma.
We're now
moving on.
Yep.
Okay.
That
Schaffelberg is good. I'm just catching up. James Honey gets. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he is their number 10. All right. So, prediction time.
Yay.
The entire league.
Where's my FanDuel?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you or somebody you know has a gambling addiction,
you have your nerve.
I can't gamble anything right now. Although I'll be in Vegas. Hey, I'm going to the sports book.
Oh my God.
I'm going to Caesar's Palace.
Anyone you know that if you know somebody that has a gambling problem, please do.
Hey, don't do that. Don't
revoke their tickets to Vegas.
This guy says this guy. This guy. Hang on, let me actually pull up the actual schedule. Says this guy. All right. So starting actually, there is no games on the 31st. There is a game on the 31st. Why are they playing on Easter Sunday?
Cincinnati. Or is it Chicago?
It's Atlanta, Chicago.
Go figure. It's in Atlanta.
Yeah. So starting the afternoon on Saturday, 2:00, Philadelphia, Minnesota from Subaru Park.
Give me Minnesota United.
Minnesota? Oh, I kind of like that. Give me 2-1 Minnesota.
I'm rocking with it.
Colorado, LAFC, 4:00 from Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Colorado made some good moves, but LAFC just trounced Nashville. And like I said, they just signed Gerard. So LAFC, I'm not putting a score in this one. Sorry, Zach Steffen, if you're watching.
Give me a 3-0 win LAFC.
Yeah.
Charlotte, Cincinnati, Bank of America Stadium to start the 7:30 games.
Charlotte. God damn it! If Columbus loses in Charlotte, so does Cincinnati. So it'd be the whole state of Ohio.
So you're saying Charlotte?
Yeah, give me Charlotte. There's hard, you can't stop Acosta from scoring. Give me a give me a 2-1 win for Charlotte. Which actually Charlotte is favored.
Give me 2-0 Charlotte. Also, Kenta, tell Celentano to get rid of that goddamn mustache. That's the most hideous thing I've ever seen on a person. Golly, bro. DC United, Montreal, Audi Field.
Montreal.
That's bold. That's bold.
I mean, what can I say? Laurent's got his guys believing in him.
Give me a 1-1 draw. I think it's tough. Give me 1-1 draw. Miami, New York City from Chase Stadium.
Is Messi playing?
That's my guy. Roman's proud of the stash. I'm sure he is. I'm also sure he's proud of giving up 3 unanswered goals in the Eastern Conference Final last year. Yeah. Sorry, I had to go there, Kenta.
I mean, hold on, let me just slide down this. I mean, just anyways, give me a draw.
A draw? A draw?
Yep. Because I think there's more to the Inter Miami's problems to even, even if Messi plays, I think it's still a draw. There's just, I don't know what Tata's got, Tata Martino's got to do to, to fix the ship a little bit to get it back on course. But just because you have Messi and Alba and Suarez, you need, they got Robbie Taylor. They got
I don't even know who the fuck we're talking about. Oh, Miami. That's right.
Kremeski's still out.
Yeah, I got to see Alex's thing. She provided an update on him.
Okay. Who the hell is the other one?
Suarez, Busquets, Alba.
The Ecuadorian.
Oh, fuck. You're asking the wrong person.
Danny, if you're still watching. I
have no idea. Anyway.
Yeah, they're still, they're good up front and middle, but they don't have a back. They don't have a solid back line. I mean, they got rid of Kamal Miller, who was actually a decent defender. So, I mean, give me a draw.
Give me 2-0 Miami. Red Bulls. Sorry. Orlando Red Bulls from Inter and Co Stadium.
Um, Give me a draw.
Okay.
I like, I think Forsberg was starting to gel a little bit with the team, with everybody
Yeah, bro. He
else.
doesn't have any kids.
Fuck them kids. As he
Edgar.
said.
Edgar, my guy. How's it going, man? Thanks for popping in.
Um, Lewis Morgan emerged, as a threat for teams to watch out.
Mm-hmm.
You still Dante Van Zier started to show a little bit about his skill.
Yep.
They didn't have John Tolkien, your favorite guy in the world.
Can't stand that bastard.
Nealis brothers did play, played decent, but I think it's hard to go up against, Nicholas Adero, um, Duncan McGuire, and everything that Oscar's, yeah. I couldn't think on how to pronounce his last name, but how Oscar's got him playing down there in Orlando.
Yeah. Shit.
And doesn't Drake play for them?
Who?
Calendar?
Nah, that's Miami.
Okay.
You're thinking of Pedro Gaiste?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, give me a draw.
Give me 2-1 Orlando. Toronto, Kansas City, BMO Field.
Give me Toronto.
Yeah, I like that. I got 3-1.
I got 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going a little safe on that one.
It's fair. Austin, Dallas.
Do you have to ask my pick?
And no, I think we're both going Dallas on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting a score line on. I'm just going Dallas.
That's Houston's a dumpster fire down there right now.
Oh my god, yeah. Houston, San Jose from Shell Energy Stadium.
Houston,
Atlanta, Vegas.
I'm going 2-0.
Give me 3-0 Houston. Salt Lake, St. Louis, America First Field.
Well, Real Salt Lake is the favorite in this one. St. Louis, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's like hot night and day with them. Give me St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Give me a 2-2 draw.
I think St. Louis pulls it off.
Okay. Now to my guy Edgar, his team. Edgar, if you're still in the chat, throw in your score prediction. LA Galaxy, Seattle, 10:30 from Dignity Health Sports Park.
Give me Galaxy. I've been riding with them. Yeah. Joseph Pansteel. He's brought, the Galaxy back to life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Puig, playing good. Everybody else is starting to come alive. Yeah, give me Galaxy 3-2.
Galaxy 3-2. Give me Galaxy 3-1, actually.
That's what Edgar just said too.
My guy Edgar. We're like this. Ow. We're like this. We're here. We are here, Edgar. We are here. Vancouver, Portland from BC Place.
Give me Portland.
Cascadia Derby.
Give me Portland.
Portland?
I'm not going to put a score on it. I'm just going outright because Vancouver is off to a great start this year.
Just so that you know, they get Vanni Sartini back this week.
Who, Portland?
The most entertaining Vancouver. The most entertaining coach in the league.
Oh, shit. Give me Portland.
Portlandia?
Yeah.
Give me a 1-1 draw.
They just signed the forward from Club America, which
I thought he was a fullback.
I thought he was a forward.
I thought he was a
Could
fullback.
He could be a fullback, but
I'm still going 1-1 draw.
yeah, I'm going Portland all the way.
Sunday, the lone match on Easter Sunday, Atlanta, Chicago.
All right. My boys down there.
He's a forward. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I kept reading. I thought he was a defender. Def striker. Okay, Kenta. Okay.
Oh. I know the boys down in with the Scarves and Stripes. You're gonna get mad at me at this, but I'm going Chicago.
Oh. Okay.
I'm going Chicago. Yakamakis is probably not going to play. Just because of the turnaround time of, they went into PKs over there in Greece. Well, for the
Greece, Georgia.
Yeah. And you're talking about, playing, 90 plus minutes plus a PK, then the flights that you have to take to get back to Atlanta. He's going to be tired. So I think he might play 20 minutes on Sunday. But I mean, there's still, enough time in between, now and, Sunday. I mean, at that point, do you risk it? You know what I'm saying? Especially they're playing on turf too. So we all know how Mercedes-Benz Stadium is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Chicago because Hugo Kuipers is actually pretty entertaining. Kellen Acosta, he had left with that win pass goal
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, just everybody is starting to learn their roles.
Yeah. Give me 2-2 draw on that one.
I'll take that.
I think you'll see Almada step up. I think Kuipers gets a brace. I think Almada gets a brace. So,
I mean, they got some other players that could score, but they're also without Stein Gregerson.
Mm-hmm.
They're without him right now. He went down with an injury, so that was a huge piece that they brought in for their defense. Midfield defense, back line. He's out. You don't have Miles Robinson anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have a young to middle, back line. And, the way Hugo Kuipers plays,
starting to find his rhythm.
Oh, yeah.
And the game that everyone wants to know about, Nashville, Columbus, the best matchup of the weekend.
Columbus comes out pissed off. They are the favorite with plus 130, and Nashville's plus 190, even though they're at home. But like you said, the inconsistency, inconsistent play that they've been going through with all the injuries, and they don't have Joe Willis. Columbus is really pissed off. And I think you see a pissed off Cucho, go Super Saiyan. And
was he out at training today?
Yes.
Okay.
He was out at training.
I'm not putting that on screen, Kenta.
I think he goes Super Saiyan. 3-0 Columbus.
I think Nashville get a Conso goal. I'm gonna go bold here. I'm gonna go 4-1 Columbus.
Well, damn, you took my job for the week.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I'm going to go 4-1 Columbus. I think, again, dealing with the inconsistencies that Nashville has. Now they're without Joe Willis. Columbus obviously want to regain the confidence that they had heading into the Charlotte match.
Yep.
And whatnot. So I think Columbus come out very, very, very strong. And I think Columbus win very, very handily.
Convincingly.
Edgar says, if Nashville is tough at home, keep an eye on Tyler Boyd. Columbus will be out for blood after the mess in Charlotte. I think Crew wins in a tough 3-2 result. I could take 3-2 also.
Yeah.
I could take 3-2 also. I think Schaffelberg gets silenced though. I think we do a good job of keeping Schaffelberg under control and Hani under control.
Yeah.
So I think 4-1 for me.
3-0 for me.
All right. And last but not least, favorite segment of the show. Yellow card, red card.
Well, my red card.
I'll tell you right now, I don't even have one for this. I have nothing at all.
And that's another subject we'll have to talk about, what Edgar's saying. That just made LAFC dangerous again.
I think that's a solid piece of business, honestly. You lose Vela. I mean, you pretty much lose Vela. Buanga can't do it all himself.
No.
I think Giroud is a solid piece of business. I think it's also more so of it's not like a messy type situation, right? I think Giroud is a solid one. He's been on one for who's he play for? Is it Milan? I can't remember who he plays for, but he's been on one, and I think it's pretty good for LAFC. Now, does it get them to MLS Cup final again? I don't think so.
But the West is, even though it's not like the East, the West has still got some good teams out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough to get them to the MLS Cup final. Okay, I was right. AC Milan. I think it gets them to at least the Western Conference semis. But I guess we'll have to see how their summer looks.
You know what it also gets us? Barca versus France.
Barca?
Yeah, I called Barca.
Barcelona.
You got Buanga and now Gerard. And then you got the Barcelona boys out there in Inter Miami. So that's going to be France versus Barca.
I don't have a yellow card, red card for this.
I think I could speak for both of us. Our red card is the Scabs. It's the replacement refs.
Thank God they're gone.
Thank
God they're gone.
That was our red card.
Yeah, I don't have a yellow at all. Everything's been chill over here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's I'd say this was a successful episode.
Jerald, my friend, that was fun. Think we need to do this more often.
Hey, thanks to the 121 people that are watching.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys have kept us going for 2 seasons so far. If you have watched all the way to the end on YouTube, on Spotify, on Goals TV even, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. Edgar says goodbye to the Scab Raps.
Nah.
Oh man, if I had that queued up, I'd play it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Goals TV. If you listen all the way to the end on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcast, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like the episode, subscribe, give us a follow on social media at Fisher Tyler __ on Twitter.
And Jerald _ Jerald
He's
_
chewing food.
Lucas 96
on Twitter. You guys can also check us out on Instagram at the Wisemen Say Podcast, on TikTok at Wiseman Pod, on Twitter at Wiseman Pod. Also, if you guys would ever be so kind as to share the episode with your friends, family, loved ones, we appreciate the support. If you guys would like to consider donating to the show, at the end of the description on Spotify, there is a link for the supporter link. Every penny that gets put towards the show gets put back into the show for travel, food, hotel accommodations, gas, electric, all that fun stuff. So that way we can provide more content from MLS stadiums around the league. And also check out our pinned tweet on Twitter. Buy some merch from us. I will be getting us merch. I will be getting us merch when I get back from Vegas for sure. I have that. That's on my reminders. I just need to get my plane ticket. I spent $600 on a plane ticket today. So
we need stickers.
Yeah. Buy some merch. We have stickers, we have cups, we have hoodies, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all that fun stuff. Tote bags. We have a lot of stuff on there. It's a pin tweet on our Twitter at Wiseman Pod. And that's it. Anything else?
You could catch me tomorrow night on the Designated Pun Show at 8:30. I will be going on there for their
Designated Pundits.
Yeah, they're
nice.
Bob reached out, about the betting show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be on there tomorrow at 8:30. And also keep a lookout for my tweets with my article. I will be starting to cover the Columbus Fury, women's professional volleyball, which is huge, is starting to blow up. Yeah.
Thank you, Edgar.
Yeah, thanks, Edgar.
That is it for this episode of the Wiseman Say Podcast, powered by Yamo Media. Ty Fisher alongside Jerald Lucas. Joe, my friend, as tradition goes, Wiseman Say.
Only fools rush in.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool. Go Crew.
Stay wise, y'all.